Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby Rotation Battle team building video. It's always a bit of a mouthful when I say that, but I think I got all the information there. So this week, as I've been doing, I'm going to take a look at my overall collection of Pokemon that haven't been used yet, and selecting one of them that can be the Mega Evolution of the team, and assembling the rest of the team based off of them. This week, we're looking at the Mega Gyarados, known as Gary. So of course, it is a Water Dark Pokemon. I'm going to choose Pokemon that can sort of help deal with the weaknesses that he's going to have as a Mega Gyarados and see if we can get through to some victories. So without any further ado, let's get right into the team builder and see who I've assembled for this week's battle. So here is Gary the Gyarados, yes, the Mega Evolution for the team this week. He is a naive Pokemon with the Intimidate ability, which means when I do bring him into battle, I'm probably going to bring him in as the lead Pokemon. That way the Intimidate will activate. Whereas if I bring him in on one of the back spots, it doesn't activate, and simply rotating him forward doesn't make it kick in. It only happens when he comes out of the Pokeball. So he is holding the Gyarados-ite, of course, to Mega Evolve into Mega Gyarados. The moveset is starting with Waterfall, which once he outspeeds with a possible Dragon Dance, we might be able to get some flinching off. And he has Earthquake to cover his Electric-type weakness as well as Rock. Of course, when he Mega Evolves, he's not going to be weak to Rock anymore, but Earthquake is still pretty powerful, and I'm planning on using it against any possible Primal Groudon that we encounter. Now, he has Crunch this week. Originally, he had Ice Fang, but I thought since he is going to Mega Evolve into a Water Dark type, Crunch is the more beneficial move because he gets the Stab bonus, or I guess STA bonus. But anyway, and the Ice Fang I was thinking would be neutral against Primal Groudon, super effective against the Mega Rayquaza, but not very effective against Primal Kyogre. Now, of course, I'm planning the entire team around those Primal Hoenn legendaries, because that tends to be what you see a lot of in the free battle on Battle Spot. So I thought Crunch would be a little bit more useful this week for the stab, as well as the possibility of lowering defense. And, of course, the final move is Dragon Dance. We're going to boost our attack and speed by one stage whenever we use that. For Gary's Super Training, I maxed out his attack and speed. Didn't really matter where I put the rest of the Super Training into, so I just put it into the HP just to possibly get one more point if possible. The next Pokemon on the team this week to help Mega Gyarados into the victory is Tails the Ninetales. She is a quiet Pokemon. The Flash Fire ability says if the opponent goes for a fire move, I can try to rotate her in, and she won't be damaged by that, but she's going to gain extra power onto her own Fire-type moves with the Flash Fire. And for the item, I was going to put a Lumberry, but you don't see a lot of status conditions from the opponents in the free battle when they're using the legendaries. They just go for straight up power. So if I can somehow survive a super effective water or ground perhaps move, I can use that weakness policy that I've attached. It's going to sharply raise her special attack and attack, getting some more damage off with her own moves. Starting with Overheat. Now she used to have Flamethrower, and I decided to go Overheat because it's a lot more powerful. It does harshly lower your own special attack, but we have ways to deal with that. And Psyshock, we didn't have any Psychic moves on the team this week. I replaced her Dark Pulse with Psyshock, thinking we can possibly get some good damage off with that if they have something other than the Hoenn legendaries that might be weak to Psychic. Now, since we do have some possible physical offense to fear from Mega Rayquaza and Groudon, if it doesn't go Primal, we can use Will-O-Wisp to get a burn on the opponent and slowly whittle away at their HP while also cutting their attack stat in half. Now, the final move, Nasty Plot, is going to work pretty well with the Overheat. Once she uses Overheat and her special attack sharply lowers, we can use Nasty Plot to sharply boost it back up to neutral, or we can actually use Nasty Plot first, get a more powerful Overheat, and after using it, she'll go back down to neutral. So there's a couple options we can use Nasty Plot for. For her Super Training, much like Gary, we maxed out her speed, but we maxed out the special attack as well, trying to make sure she hits as hard as she can on the special side. And her remaining Super Training went into HP, but again, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. The third Pokemon for this week's team is going to be another Fire type. It is Witwiki the Chandelure. He is an impish Pokemon, if you couldn't tell by the look of him, and he has also the Flash Fire ability, so we're not going to bring both of them into the same battle, probably, unless they have nothing but Fire types. We might actually want to do that, but we'll see how things play out. Flash Fire, again, he will boost his Fire-type moves if he is hit by a Fire move, and he's holding the Air Balloon so that the Precipice Blades of that pesky Primal Groudon will not connect against this Fire type. He has Flamethrower for his first move, which is pretty powerful. Shadow Ball, also powerful, both are stab. He also has Will-O-Wisp, and originally he had Sunny Day, but with the Primal Legendaries from Hoenn, you can't overpower their own weather conditions except using their own, Desolate Land or Primordial Sea. So Sunny Day is not going to do a thing against these Primals, Therefore, we went with Safeguard. Even though I just said about Tails, people don't usually use status condition with legendaries, there is a chance it could happen. Therefore, Witwiki is going to cover the team with Safeguard. For his super training, he has a little bit mixed around here and there. I try to even up the defenses pretty good. They're at 264 each. And I put a lot of the remaining super training into the special attack and just drop the rest into the HP to give him a little bit more longevity. The fourth Pokemon is going to be Axel, the Roserade. You'll see this is a calm Pokemon, which, from what I understand, it boosts special defense, but I think lowers speed, maybe? I can't remember. But it's a boost to the special defense stat. The ability Poison Point says if the opponent physically connects against Axel, he has a chance to cause poison in the opponent, but they have to physically connect against him. And normally he has Black Sludge, but you'll see someone else has it this week. He's got leftovers for this week. The moves are Grass Knot, which replaces Energy Ball. I'm thinking if we see Primal Kyogre, Grass Knot could probably do more damage based on the weight than an Energy Ball would. And you'll see that we do have max special attack on Axel, so Grass Knot can do a lot of good damage, I'm sure, to that Primal Kyogre. Now, Toxic and Venom Drench are going to work hand in hand. If the opponent does not physically connect against Axel to get poison from the Poison Point, we can use Toxic. It's going to be a stronger poison, increasing over time. And once that Toxic poison is in there, we can use Venom Drench, which lowers the attack, special attack, and speed of a poison Pokemon. We might not use that if we expect they're going to rotate out, but that is an option if we still have, if maybe if we're down to the last Pokemon, we can use the Venom Drench safely without any possible downside. Now the final move, Aromatherapy. If the Safeguard is not in play, like maybe I don't bring Witwiki into this particular battle, and we don't have any Lumberries, Aromatherapy is going to cure all special conditions on my team, and keeping them from getting burned and poisoned and stuff like that. And the super training for Axel, you'll see we have not maxed out anything, but we put a lot into the special attack, both defenses and speed. He's actually not too bad. He's got 302 special attack, defenses are at 201 and 301 each, speed is at 249. The fifth Pokemon this week is going to be another grass poison type. It is Sprout the Venusaur. Now, you might be thinking, this is a possible Mega Evolution as well, and I said in the past few weeks, I'm only going to focus on one Mega for each team each week. That means Sprout is going to have a second chance coming up at some point in these battles. Right now, he's just here for type coverage. So he's not Mega, he's focused more on kind of a support sort of a thing. He is a relaxed Pokemon with the Overgrow ability, so if he gets weak, his grass attacks are going to be a little more powerful. He's holding the Black Sludge this week. Works just like leftovers as long as a poison type is holding it. You're going to heal back some HP every turn. If there's a chance that the opponent tries to steal an item, if they take the Black Sludge, it damages all non-poison types that are holding it. So his moveset is Sludge Bomb for good stab. Energy Ball is the last move you see down there, also for stab. And Toxic and Leech Seed. Not quite as broken as it was in Gen 1, but still pretty good. If we can get the Leech Seed on the opponent, we're going to slowly heal back from them, and whichever Pokemon I rotate to the active spot will actually gain the HP. So I can throw a Leech Seed at somebody, bring in someone that might have taken a hit or two, and they can start healing up. And Toxic, as I said with Axel, is an increasing damage each turn, and if I happen to bring both Sprout and Axel into the same battle, which I'm probably not going to do thanks to the doubling up of type weaknesses, I can have Sprout use a Toxic, Axel can then use the Venom Drench. For Sprout Super Training, he went more defensive. I maxed out his defense at 273, put some into the special defense to bring it to 272, and put the remainder into the special attack just so he can hit a little bit harder with his two special moves. The last Pokemon for this week is everybody's favorite, Jiggy the Jigglypuff, our sadly one-hit wonder from our final week of the Omega Ruby double battles. He is back again. We're going to make sure he doesn't get one hit knocked out though. He's holding Focus Sash, as you'll see. I want him as sort of a support on the team because he's, sadly, I'm not predicting he's going to get very many knockouts, if any, on his own. But he's here to help the team. He is competitive, so on the off chance that he survives a hit that lowers a stat, it's going to sharply boost his special stat. Now again, the item is Focus Sash. He's a gentle Pokemon, as you'll see from the nature, which means that's why I'm not focusing on making him too offensive. He's a gentle little guy. So the moveset is Dazzling Gleam. It's his only offensive move. It is stab, and if we do get the competitive boost, it's going to be a little bit stronger. Not that he's very powerful to begin with anyway, but the rest of the moveset is more support. Thunder Wave, we can paralyze any non-ground type, therefore possibly making sure the rest of the team outspeeds whatever get paralyzed. And you've got the two screens, Reflect and Light Screen. So as I say, with the Focus Sash, we know he's going to survive one hit. I can rotate him in, use whichever of the three support moves I think are going to be most beneficial in the situation, then I can rotate him back out. let's see if maybe on the off chance he can swing in later and get a knockout with Dazzling Gleam. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. For the super training, you'll see we maxed out his 2 defenses because we want to make sure he doesn't take too much damage. Now, it doesn't really matter. He's only here just to, sadly, take a hit and get up a screen or 2. But I put the remainder into the HP to get it a little higher, and that is basically how Jiggy has been super trained. So that is the team for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby Rotation Battles in the free battle in battle spot. Feel free to leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of the team I've assembled and any suggestions for movesets that you might have for the team or the individual Pokemon that I'm choosing for this team. It can help me decide on team strategies for future battles, but also help anyone else watching this video that might want to try to use the Pokemon that I'm using today. With that, we're going to end off this team building video. Come on back to the channel tomorrow and check out the live battles in the rotation free battles and battle spot. And until then, I'll catch you next time.